Will and Zubin, welcome inside. It's Martin Luther King Day, something we will discuss with the fellas here in detail in just a little bit. So have some perspective when you think about sports today and what's going to be happening in the country later this week. There's just so much to talk about in the world of sports, but just sort of step back and take a macro look at everything. You might see it a little bit differently. A little levity off the top. Apparently, Key had a social media mishap I need to know
what
about
happened,
here.
Key?
Over the weekend,
Me?
password-wise, what am I hearing?
Oh no,
here?
that's not me. They talking about. I don't know what. Not me. I don't have social media, so it wasn't me.
Wait, Zubin, you know Keyshawn is not part of the media. What are you talking about? He's not media.
No, no. They gave you the wrong information.
It says on this piece of paper, Key doesn't know his social media passwords. Key has to Google his name to find his own social media accounts. Explain.
That's a lie. Don't listen to that. Don't. It's a typo.
Fake news, Zubin. Let's
Fake
move on.
news, Zubin. Move on.
Okay, so let it be recorded that for the first time ever, they want to go right to the sports. While
No,
I
we didn't
wanted to do something
we didn't
else.
say go to sports. We just said move on.
right,
Doesn't mean we got to go to sports. Must means that our weekends were great. Football was good. We had a chance to see the Bills advance. Cleveland got as much as they could out of that. But, hey, in the end, I sat at home last night, looking at the Saints and the Bucks, and that guy, number 12 on the other side, is really, truly something special.
Zubin, I just go to you
it's
and I
just
say this.
crazy.
Anything is possible. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go.
I mean, anything is always possible.
Anything.
Oh, Henny.
Anything
There you
is
go.
possible, Key.
Mahomes tweeted that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, they were already. As far as I know, they were already winning the game when he took over. So,
We'll talk about it in a second. So anything is possible.
did you go
for
grocery
the
shopping today?
Chiefs.
I mean, this weekend.
No bags in there. Just my jacket.
No,
just
this
my
weekend.
jacket.
Did you go shopping? What did you do?
No, I just watched the games. Watched a little NBA over the
Yeah,
weekend.
Got a chance to see James Harden.
Yeah, Zubin.
See Harden looked like he. I told you James Harden only would take him a couple days to lose that weight.
30
That
pounds.
was it. That was gone like in 2 days.
Oof. Triple-double,
But-
Zubin. Triple-double.
Basketball is so amazing, though, because you can put the ball in your hand and you can do what you want to do, right? Unlike any other sport. Like, I need somebody to pitch to me. I need somebody to throw me the football, unless I'm the quarterback and I'm running the option. Other than that, I got basketball. I could just wave everybody off and just do what I need to do.
So
Key,
here's
subliminally, are you speaking to Drew Brees right now about your nephew? Are you saying that he didn't attempt enough passes to...
No,
Okay, I didn't know if you were just
they
handling
didn't play.
some-
No,
Okay.
they didn't play well, man. My nephew didn't look healthy to me, and they didn't play well. And it was holding on the pick six that wasn't. I just want you to know.
Understood.
Well, let's break it down. Harden, of course, the one thing he's missing that Kyrie and KD, of course, have is a championship. So that's the holy grail out there for James Harden. For Tom Brady, I mean, championships, he doesn't have to worry about it. You're running out of fingers to count. He's attempting, Key, if they win 6 days from now in Green Bay, to play in his 10th Super Bowl. Just as a guy that's, been in the league, let's just think about that for a second. For a guy that's had the success you've had, a win against the Packers, who, by the way, will be hosting the NFC Championship game for the first time in the Aaron Rodgers era. Believe it or not, they played 4 NFC title games. They've all been on the road, finally coming to Lambeau for the first time since Rodgers became a starter, but Brady looking for his 10th counted Super Bowl appearance.
Unreal. It's just unreal. I mean, it's not even. I mean, I don't even really know how to put it in words, other than the dude is magnificent. I mean, what do you say? I mean, it's nothing. You plug him in, and you wind up a year later in an NFC Championship game, one game away from going to the Super Bowl. Now, can they go to Green Bay and win? Of course they can. I mean, that's always the case. You've got an opportunity and a chance. It's just, the dude's legit. What can you say? I mean, it takes you all the way back to when he was drafted, or even Michigan. Like, what was he like in college that he had to fight to start? What was he like as a college player for the scouts and the general managers to pass over him, and for the Patriots to say, we'll take him in the 6th round. He's good enough for us to take a look at. Like, what did they see that 10 years later turned into something different?
And 20 years later, still
And
going.
then 20 years later, something is still going. It amazes me. Now, obviously, you could tell that the way that they were running the offense last night, it was a lot of what Brady was kind of used to and some of the same principles that they did in New England. Because you could look and tell that there was some comfort level that was there with both he and Gronkowski. And he's just the GOAT, man. So it's interesting because Brady could have signed a 1-year deal with the Bucs, took him to the championship game or to a Super Bowl, and then signed with another team in 2022. That's what it feels like, right? You just plug him in and you go. Now, I've seen this before with the Kansas City Chiefs and Joe Montana, where Joe Montana led the Chiefs to the AFC Championship game when he left the San Francisco 49ers.
Montana, by the way, Jay, the last guy to start an AFC and NFC championship game, and now obviously he's going to be passed by Brady. Of course, Brady growing up, his boyhood idol was Montana, and it all comes full circle.
Yes, Zubin, I just want to give Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich a lot of love here and credit, because the whole season, it feels like Brady's been playing a different style of football. Not for every game, but just the volume in which he's been throwing the ball, right? A lot of deep passes has been something that we've always questioned. Last night, I felt like I watched more of an offense that was around the way the Patriots played. I mean, it was probably their most balanced attack they've had all season. I mean, they've had 30 runs, 2 backs that rushed over 60 yards, right? And it felt like there was that delicate balance. And we said before, I've been saying throughout the whole year, sometimes they're very one-dimensional. You knew exactly what they were going to do, whether that's Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. It was just their balanced attack, and also Zubin, their defense just really stepped up. I mean, you saw why they led the league in pretty much points off turnovers, right? 128 points off turnovers, and they found a way to do that once again against Drew Brees.
Yeah, I would say once again, it's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests this morning on the Goodyear Hotline, we are jam-packed. We'll have the aspect of revenge, and then I want to get to Drew Brees here on the other side because that's obviously a huge story as well. Think about it. The Saints knocked off the Bucs twice during the regular season. The second game, some people are saying, was the worst regular season game Tom Brady has played in his 21-year career. The Bucs get revenge. Now it's up to the Packers to get revenge, because you remember the regular season meeting in Tampa that the Bucs dominated Green Bay, but again, the locale will switch, so perhaps revenge on the mind, not of Tom Brady on the Bucs, but their opponent. Drew Brees is the NFL's all-time leader in completions and passing yardage, so it seems a little strange that he was 19 for 34 for $139 and 3 picks. The guy that has completed more passes and thrown for more yards than anybody. Could that possibly be his swan song? He was asked about it after the game.
Yeah, hey, Drew, I hate to start with this, but is this your last game?
Well, I'll answer this question one time, and that is that I'm going to give myself an opportunity to think about the season, think about a lot of things, just like I did last year, and make a decision.
Key, he said things like, this game has given me incredible memories. After he peeled off the uniform, he went back out onto the field, if you're watching this morning on television, played with his kids on the field, long embrace with his wife, Brittany. It's not definitive. He said it himself, but man, the signs seem there, don't they?
They do, but, after an emotional game and you sit back and you think about it, you take some time to yourself, a few days, you talk to the coaching staff, you see where they're at with everything, and you make a decision. He apparently has a job waiting for him with a network out there in the universe. So there's an opportunity for him to just say, you know what, I've done it, I've done everything. But then the team is so good that you may not want to give that up to anybody else, and you want to run it back and see if you can win a championship.
Yeah, I would love for Drew to take some time, obviously. But I'll say this as a competitor. I know you have to, when you decide to call it quits, that is it. You have to walk away from the game. But I don't care what anybody says, Key. The way you end it, that sits with you. And I think the way that the season ended for Drew Brees, I think it's going to be hard for him just to say, okay, I'm willing to walk away and go into broadcasting, knowing that a season with COVID, rib injuries, the way he three picks in this game, 4 turnovers for the Saints. If I'm Drew Brees, I'm really thinking about, I come back 43 years old. We have a chance to do it. I might have to do it for me, not to end it this way.
It's amazing. We'll see what happens, but the signs certainly seem to indicate that it's either going to be Hill or Winston's job. And after what you saw from Winston coming in on that trick play right away, that does say something. On the way is the biggest threat on the other side of the AFC to the Chiefs going back-to-back, their injury report. That's after Key has this message this morning from our friends at DraftKings.
The return we